The human brain. It is the powerhouse of the body, powering all of our functions whether we know it or not. It lets us communicate with one another and advance our race as a whole. It has given us the power to create societies, technology, cities, and even take us to the moon and beyond. It's the reason you are even sitting here, watching this video in the first place. Everything we have, we owe to the brain. However, just like you can catch a cold, your brain can catch an illness. Some colds are really hard to shake, especially when it's cold season, the weather is always fluctuating, or you're not taking good care of yourself. Your brain is the same way. Instead of a cold, your brain can develop depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, or any other host of mental health issues. Surprisingly, it's quite common to have a mental illness. In America, 1 in 5 adults, around 18.5% of Americans, experience mental illness in a given year. 18.1% of American adults experience an anxiety disorder, and 6.9% of adults in the U.S. had at least one major depressive episode in the last year. But when we look at the media, we often don't see accurate depictions of what it's like to live with a mental illness, which can leave people experiencing them in the dark. One of the largest issues in the way the media portrays those suffering with mental health is that it isn't an accurate portrayal. According to an article posted by the American Psychiatric Association staff on their website, mental health misrepresentation in entertainment media can fuel stigma, leading to discrimination against people with mental illnesses and barriers to treatment. One of these discriminations comes with the idea that medication makes people mindless and emotionless zombies, which is not always the case. Shows like Monk, Pretty Little Liars, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer have all depicted this misinformed idea, leading to people being more hesitant to reach out for the proper care that they need. Another example of this is electroconvulsive therapy. This kind of therapy, where small electric currents are passed through the brain, intentionally triggering a brief seizure done under general anesthesia, is often portrayed as being brutal, painful, and barbaric. However, the procedure itself is, as mentioned, done under general anesthesia and is proven to be extremely effective in treating mental health disorders in patients. The more you know, right? In the same American Psychiatric Association article, it's written that media that romanticizes or features graphic acts of violence, especially self-harm and suicide, may trigger imitative violence, risking copycat acts. The first thing I thought of when I read this was the show that came out this past year, 13 Reasons Why, and the scrutiny it received for showing on-screen suicide and rape scenes. These scenes are unbearable to watch, and watching these things can lead to copycat suicides and self-harm episodes. This has already happened, where last year a woman committed suicide and left several tapes for people to listen to, detailing why she did it, similar to that of the main character, Hannah Baker. The hypothetical father of new media, Marshall McLuhan, is quoted with the phrase, "The medium is the message." Mark Fetterman translated this phrase to mean that after a long period of time and experience with the new innovation, we look backward and realize that there were some effects of which we were entirely unaware at the outset. Our current media has transformed our society to the point where there is a new phenomenon called Facebook depression. It is defined as depression that develops when preteens and teens spend a great deal of time on social media sites, such as Facebook, and then begin to exhibit classic symptoms of depression. This can be extremely dangerous, as those who suffer from Facebook depression are at risk for social isolation and sometimes turn to risky internet sites and blogs for quote-unquote help that may promote substance abuse, unsafe sexual practices, or aggressive and self-destructive behaviors. Good can still be found in this world of bad. The best way to fix this broken system is accurate representation of those suffering with mental illness and access to proper medical treatments. TV shows like Jessica Jones and You're the Worst accurately portray mental illness and don't show it as a minor struggle or something that can be cured easily. There are several websites and chat rooms online that connect you with other people struggling with mental illness as a way to talk to someone who gets it, or to talk to a therapist in total confidentiality. Even just talking about the issue brings light to ways that people struggling can get help. After the release of Logic's song 1-800-273-8255, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline received a significant increase in the amount of foot traffic to their website and an increase in calls to their number. Accurate representation works. Sensationalism does not. It's time to end an accurate representation of mental illness and give the brain the love and the inspiration it truly deserves to get better.